Welcome to Up All Night DIY. I'm Monica. Thanks for joining me. Today is all about sunflowers. First is the scrap wood sunflower girl. Let's get into it. I'm not one to waste supplies of any sort, so I cut some shapes from leftover bits of wood and MDF to construct my sunflower girl. I'll start by painting the center of her sunflower face with Americana dark chocolate. She'll have a nice wide face, and I'll give it 2 coats. The petals will get a base of Americana spiced pumpkin. Sunflowers is the theme of the 4th Friday Challenge, hosted by my friends Sarah of Jujubee DIY and Lisa of Our Grey House. Our special guest hosts this month is Brenda of Rustic and Lace. I always enjoy participating in this monthly challenge. These talented ladies always keep it fresh and interesting. I'll have links to their channels and the playlist in the description box. I make sure to paint the edges too, and I'll give this 2 coats as well. I'll give her feet and her body 2 coats of Americana Irish moss. You can see that I've drilled 2 holes in the top of her feet. That's where her legs will go. I had a few scrap bits of dowel, which I cut to the same size. I figured they'd make perfect legs for her. So I found the drill bit that was the closest fit to the dowel. Of course, I drilled corresponding holes at the bottom of the body too. I paint the legs and neck, which are the dowels, with Ceramcoat Herb Garden. I also striped the body and the feet with Herb Garden. With my liner brush, I add Ceramcoat bright yellow stripes to the feet, body, and the dowels. To add the stripes to my dowel, I'll hold my brush still and turn the dowel. Makes it easier, and I'm not worrying about neatness, as you can see. I also add spiced pumpkin lines to the dowels. To everything as well. I'll shade her petals with warm sunset and floating medium. I load my brush with the medium, side load with the warm sunset, and then stroke the brush on my plate to load the bristles. I shade around the outside of the flower center and then along the edges of the petals. I'll pick up more paint and/or medium as needed as I shade around my flower. I tipped out the perimeter of the center with dark brown and Mississippi mud. These 2 are Americana colors. I'll have all the colors listed in the description box. Now I'll shade around the body and the feet with Ceramcoat Hunter Green. Each time I change color, I'm preparing my brush the same way by dipping it into the floating medium first and then side loading with the current color. The floating medium gives the paint a kind of faded effect. It feathers it out. and makes it nice and soft. I like to add layers of colors, so I'll shade with Warm Sunset just next to the hunter. I'm not covering the hunter, I'm shading just inside of it. Back to the flower, I'm highlighting the petals with bright yellow. And it's the same thing. I prep the brush with the floating medium, side load with my color, and then I'll just stroke one side of the petal to highlight. With my liner brush and Folk Art Daybreak, which is a really pretty pale yellow, I paint her features. I'm keeping it simple lines. I dipped out her eyes with the back of a brush and that Daybreak yellow. And I'll give her some lashes and reinforce the line beneath her eyes and her mouth too. I give her a Mississippi mud nose, just a quick small stroke. Now I'm going to float some Irish moss around her petals just to pull that green in. To add a bit more definition, I'll float the edges of the center with Ceram Coat charcoal. I also shade under her features with the charcoal. I dipped out pupils with the charcoal as well, and I'll shade the petals. As you can see, I'm shading super lightly with that charcoal, but I definitely feel that it helps make it more cohesive. Also, her body and shoes get some charcoal as well. And I dry brush her cheeks with Warm Sunset. Cute. In order to connect her head to her body, I glue a thicker piece of wood to the back of her face. I've drilled a hole where her neck will go, and I'm using wood glue and hot glue to attach it. I'm not going to glue any of her pieces together other than this piece because I want to be able to disassemble her for storage. To make our arms, I've cut a 10-inch length of 19 gauge craft wire, which I'll fold in half, and I'll hook it over a dowel, and I'll twist the wire together all the way down. I draw holes on either side of her body, and I'll push the arms into the holes. It's a nice fit, so like I said, I don't even need to glue them. And now I'll assemble her bits and bobs. Of course, if you wanted to glue, you could always. I just prefer not to. And now I'll make her wee pennant banner. I had these pennants in my stash. I made them last year, I think. They're just made from a thicker cardstock. And I attach them to my jute with hot glue. I'm matching the points of the corners of the pennants with each other. This was just easier for me to keep it even. And now I'll just tie the twine ends to her hands so that the banner hangs where I want it. And then I'll just cut away the excess. I did tie an extra little knot at the end of the jute before I cut it. I pop her head on, and I do spray her with clear matte sealer, as always. And there she is, all finished. I think she's really cute for scrap pieces. I hope you like her. This one is super quick and easy. I'll spray paint one of my many candle jars with Rust-Oleum Sienna Mist to give it an amberglass look. I gave it a light coat. Love this color. I used some hot glue to wrap some of this two-tone twine around the bottom of the jar. I wrapped until I covered about, 2 inches or so. I tie a length of the twine around the top with a double knot, and I'll add a bead to each tail. These are just little plastic, I guess, jewelry beads. They were in my stash. They're really cute. And I just tie a knot off on the end to keep them from falling off. I'll glue this oak leaf onto the jar. I made this leaf last year with Model Magic, but I do know that Dollar Tree has faux leather leaves. That would be cool too. And I'm done. Nice. And there we go. Simple and really pretty. I'll add some lovely deep russet sunflowers. This is an easy way to recycle a jar. And look how pretty. Bonus that I had everything in my stash. And here's a final look. I want to thank my sweet friends, Lisa and Sarah, for hosting, and Brenda for guest hosting. Please be sure to check out their channels. They're all very talented and have their own unique style. Also, please show some love to all the creators on the playlist. Lots of inspiration to find there. Links are below, as well as a list of my supplies. Stay creative, my friends. Thanks for hanging with me. See you next time. Up all night with Monica.